learning investment tips. We said live off your investments. Don't make money your goal, make it a tool. We said you can save, spend, or you can invest it. When money comes into your hand, you can save it, you can spend it, or you can invest. There's a difference between saving and investing. Saving is when you put it in a place where, yeah, there's a little interest, but it's not an investment and you can reach it easily. Investing it is when you actually cause it to enter a place where it can return. How do you learn investment tips? What are some of the investment tips? Number one, start with your job. What do we mean by starting with your job? Make the most of it while it lasts. If you are working somewhere, be the best. Raise your skill. Let your employers be excited that you are the one they hired. Make yourself so difficult to fire. So difficult. I had to look an employee in the eye this week. He's been pressing us. Oh yeah, my house rent is due, because he was in his contract. And the car that the company said they'll give me. And he was wondering why we're vacillating. So I said, young man, we're vacillating because when you were building for us, it was building an underground bunker where our water will go out from into the pool for the water display. Several times when I'll go there, I'll meet laborers working, foreman working, but it's not there. You call him, oh, well, they have explained what they should do to them. Our consultants told him what? That why are you not there? They'll tell him what to do. I know what I'm doing. I work for MTN. I work for this. I'm a chartered engineer. I'm a member, Chartered Institute of Engineers. When the bunker was finished, he had never worked in a place where the water level was as high as Lagos Island, where this estate is. The water level is high. The lagoon to the left, the sea to the right. So water was always seeping out. It cost us an extra 17 million to have to rescue, because every day when I go, I'm on top of it. You are on top of it. It's holding us. We're about to finish this work. We're about to call in the people bringing the equipment. So it created a massive problem for us. And then the next work we gave him to supervise the civil work where the tanks for the estate would be. The MEP company said it wasn't accurately done. They had to go bring the kind of steel that will not bulk under weight. It's the steel that they get from ships that have been disused. There's a special treatment for those. I said, so young man, that MEP company spent another 3.5 million to put that steel. So technically you've cost us 20 million. And you now are pursuing, oh, where's my house rent and the company car that I was promised? I said, we'll pay your rent. But you see, for us to go forward with your skill, you will need to learn how to work with other people, how to take instruction. He did not raise his skill, because your employee can take you down or be one of your best people that raises you up. And the same guy will argue with another employee we have. That employee was one of my best headhunting, man. Was a lecturer in the Polytechnic, brought him in. This guy is a chartered quantity surveyor, is a chartered builder. Man, by his skill and meticulousness, saved us hundreds of millions, because contractors know how to hide monies, including those who speak in tongues, and telling you, I'm not charging. So start with your job. Raise your skill. That guy, I didn't have problem. We didn't have problem renewing his rent. bought him his vehicle. So these other guys, so okay, we'll pay your rent. But as for the vehicle you've been asking for, oh, there are now about 5 or 6 of you. We'll actually buy 2, 3 cars and put it in a carpool. You'll be one of those using the cars in the carpool. You can't drive outside of the project. And at weekends, when you want to go to the city where your wife is, catch your own transportation. Don't use our vehicle. I had to take time to stay in the contract with wisdom. So today our bunker is well done after we had to bring another company, spend so much money, and all they did was bring a specialized cement because they know of that kind of place. I had to break some of the concrete he made and put the one that cannot be penetrated. Start with your job. Number 2, write down your financial vision. If you want to invest, what's your financial vision? Because see, if you don't have a financial vision, you wouldn't even know if you hit it. Excuse me, let me bring the board. Because tonight we're going to try and be as practical as possible. If you don't have a financial vision, you would not know if you are hitting it. Remember, we said your goal should be smart and hard. Smart and hard goals. So if your goal is SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound or time-based, you can say in the next 5 years, 10 years, I want to have liquidity of $10 million, liquidity of $5 million. So you have set the goal, and it's a SMART goal. So now you know that now that I've set the goal, I need to write down my financial vision. My vision is when it comes to liquidity, to have $5 million. So that is your goal. Remember, we did our teaching on goal setting. We said you need to set goals that have to do with 10 years. Then after you set the 10 years, you need to set 1 year. And after you've set the 1 year, you need to set daily. You see, because daily is the one which cumulatively will influence your 1 year. And your 1 year will cumulatively influence your 10 year. You don't arrive at the 10-year goal of $5 million. But what you do daily determines yearly. And what happens yearly determines the decade. Some people will just say, I want to have money. How much? If you don't set the amount, you will know if you have hit it. Number 2, so how do you now get there? We said number 3, save a large portion of your income to handle the future and make it better. Save a large chunk. We've done this teaching in the past where we call it 20, 30, 50. 20% of your money must first of all, 10% to God, 10% to yourself for starters, 10% to yourself for starters as an investment or savings which you cannot touch. So when I say 10% to God, it will have to be more than that. 10% is your tithe, you need to do offerings. But 30% is what you should try to live on. If you can't live on 30%, so you reverse these two. You reverse them. You can live on 50%, and you now take this 30 for a bigger investment, which you can't touch. This 10%, maybe it's in some savings account, but this one here, the 30 here, you cannot touch at all. You bought S&P 500. You bought into hedge funds. You bought into gold. You bought into silver, like the things we shared the last time. This way, you are creating not only monies for the future, but things that increase in value. Number 4, we said, okay, even under number 3, we did say save a large chunk every month and earn passive income from it. Save a large chunk. Don't, one of the, there's a name we call it, one of the greatest dangers of life is to raise your spending level to your latest income. Every time people have a raise, they raise their their style of living. Now we are comfortable. They don't realize that you should not raise your style, your style of living to your immediate current level of income. Number 4, know the difference between investing and speculation. Many people are speculators, and you have to be very careful. Speculating is looking for quick profit. Cryptocurrency, they say one Yashimoto started it. I don't know who Yashimoto is. Nobody knows him. He is some phantom, some faceless person. They don't know, but they say, oh, somebody was trying to sell crypto to me the other day. They said, oh, the number of currency, nobody can increase it, and for anybody to steal it, when you spend it here, they will have to compromise millions of computers. I'm like, where do I have time for all that stuff, man? And then how many places collects cryptocurrencies? And even by the time the world changes to crypto, I have done well in other areas. And I have not seen a place where people lose money like cryptocurrency. A pastor came to see me during the week, and I was telling him the experience I had in the city, and then he confirmed to me. I had gone to the city in Nigeria called Abeokuta. I sat to preach, and as I was sitting down facing the choir, a pastor comes and sits in front to my left. As I look at him, I just saw serious problems around him. As I get to the platform, I say, hey, pastor, stand up, come stand here. I don't know what it is, but you are carrying massive, heavy burden and battles around you. You've gotten yourself in a deep problem, and you need God to intervene. His jaws dropped. The whole church are in shock. I didn't know. This guy and some other young pastors like himself became crypto gurus in town. And you know, there is a trust level in church. People began to put money in their hand. When crypto had that crash, these guys lost 3 billion Nigerian currency, 1 billion. Hey, they were being pursued by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for their crime. So know the difference. Investing is something like index funds, where when you put it, somebody takes your money, they help to invest. Investing with large places, not speculating with small. We said to invest with large, speculate with small. Sorry about that. If you find that, okay, I don't also want to be left out with this currency crypto thing, so you put a tiny money. I think so. I'm not sure anymore. I think I have probably 2,000 pounds or dollars in one of the cryptocurrencies, so that all I will do is out and then move on with my life, but not all my savings. Number 5, we said to invest smartly. Don't think that things last forever. Invest smartly, which means sometimes you need to move what you have. Invest smartly. Companies have disappeared for not adapting. Kodak disappeared. Toshiba disappeared. Man, Can't even imagine how Toshiba will disappear, but it did. And just after our teaching, I read of another one that decided that went bankrupt in Japan. I'm trying to remember now which one just went bankrupt. A major name just went bankrupt. You know, make your own decisions when it comes to investing. Number 6, that's what we said. Make your own decisions. Figure out what makes sense for you. Don't be carried away by the majority. When crypto first came, when the .com first came, everybody was investing in .coms. Then poof, because the .com really, again, is like crypto. It had no beginning, no ending. Number 7, know that your wealth depends on your own actions, the actions you carry out, the deliberate steps you take. Wealth creation requires deliberate actions. I say deliberate because you also have deliberated on it. Then you can create wealth. Number 8, keep the future generation in mind. What do we mean by this? Don't be carried away by hypes. Always particularly know that any wealth you are to create, real wealth should stay in your family for generations. For those of you who have just joined us, we've done generational wealth, and we have taught a lot about the need for you to create something for the future, for other people to, okay, I think it was Toshiba, was it? Did I mention Toshiba? Yeah, I think I mentioned Toshiba. Toshiba went down. Okay. So please remember what we just said. Keep the future generation in mind. Number 9, know a lot about the industry or area you want to invest in. Know a lot about it. I spoke to someone this evening. I'm sure this illustration will not be hurtful, so I'll share it. You can't even know the person's spouse passed. They have a good large sum land, and the person is saying, okay, where it is, can we find developers who will develop it, and then we can make some money out of it? And I shocked the person by letting them know, when you bring land for developers, I know this with Africa, I don't know with Europe. If this is the land and they are to bring the money and build, and your part is you provided the land, they build to sell, guess what portion yours is in the whole thing? Only 10%. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So here is this land, and you build 30 apartments, yours might just be 3. Unless you people had an agreement that, okay, 30 apartments is built on the land, we shall get 20% of the apartments. Because see, they will argue that they brought the funds, they brought the know-how, they brought the technical, they brought everything. You just gave dirt land. And so you need to know you need to know the area. So I had to counsel the person that the best way to get traction and value for your land, just sell it to those who want to develop. So you don't worry your head about, okay, they'll come back, all right, we are now building. Okay, we borrowed money. Okay, we hired 200 staff and we are paying them well, because they will tell you how much they are paying people. Oh my God, during COVID, some people wanted about, I think, 50 acres of our land, and they were going to build, I think, about 700 apartments. They said our land is 10%. They were going to give us therefore 10% of what they consider the market value plus maybe 30 apartments. 30 apartments out of 700 they were going to build. They'll give us 30 apartments and very small money. We had agreed. Go ahead. Don't call me for any expense. Suddenly they came back and said, oh, because of COVID, the value of land has fallen. Say, for example, the acre was like 7 million, or what did we call it, 7 or 8 million for an acre. And so here's 50. You develop, you give us some cash and 30 apartments. Suddenly they came back and said, COVID had come in and the value of the land is no longer 7. It's not even the 5 you once sold. It's now 3. I'm trying to play fast one. We just said, sorry, you are the one who's changing the contract, therefore the contract no longer stands. If you don't stand with the amount we agreed, we're no longer selling. Neither are we going into this contract. So the contract fell apart, and within 1 year, I think, we sold it at about 12 million per acre. Not the 3 they were saying, not the 8 we were saying, but 12 million. We didn't get any houses. Take the land, give us 12 million. And the money came in good time. In good time. Number 10, diversify your investment. We taught this last time. Don't put all the eggs in one basket. The tendency for people in wealth creation is to just be good at one thing. You got to find other places, other things to do. Number 11, don't spend more than necessary. Make your livelihood. Number 12, use tax benefits to your advantage. Understand tax laws and deduct all the deductibles. If you are supposed to charge withholding tax, don't forget to make your receipts to show that. We had that challenge. We're just not charging withholding tax. When the taxman came, because the taxman in Nigeria now is very savvy, he's asking us for withholding tax, and the people who bought have since gone. We had to look for ways to really make our arguments. Number 13, create a portfolio that is resilient and can stand the storms. Storm is coming on the world. Number 13, and there are some things that stand storms. Gold stands storms. Silver stands storms. Land stands storms. Dividends, stocks stand storms. There are storms coming. Gold will keep your money. Silver will. Land, no matter what happens and the storm continues, land will rise back again. Dividends do rise. The dividends that come from established blue chip companies that have been there for generations, except for those kind of storm of 2008. Blue chips don't easily disappear. The storm of 2008 pulled down some big banks, major names. Number 14, save some cash for rainy days, for market volatility. I love number 14. You should do this. Save your money for rainy days, for market volatility, because when stocks and shares crash, that's the best time to buy. So when it rises again, particularly companies that are not fly-by-night companies that are not Mickey Mouse, but they are major. You came in and bought and stayed with them, you rise with them. That is market volatility. And so you came in when they were rock bottom. God help you. That is the kind of company that has a future and has discovered a product that will do well. Boom, you rise with them. 15, have a roadmap for investing. You need to have a clearly defined roadmap for your investing. What do I want to invest? Where do I want to invest? How much do I want to invest? What is the vision? What is the vision? You see, one of the roadmap for investment is that you need to see investment like the nest of an eagle. The nest of an eagle is not built for Papa Eagle or Mama Eagle alone. The nest of an eagle is so big that Papa Eagle, let's draw an eagle with the eyes of a human being, and Mama Eagle, eyes of a human being. I could do better than this, really. Let's do something better. Okay. Yeah, put some hair on Papa Eagle. Okay. Okay. Cross the eye. The nest is always bigger than the builder, so that generations can come in. That's how to have a roadmap. So what you are doing is not just to make ends meet. It should be 1, because of retirement. 2, in order to create riches. 3, in order to create generational blessings. 4, in order to go from riches to wealth, because they are not the same thing. Riches, how do I explain? Wealth is a summation of many things, including health, family, other blessings. But wealth is bigger than riches. Rich people, they still show off. Technically, you can't even believe. First person to buy a big car out of the rich and the wealthy is the rich man. Wealthy people will really just think of how to multiply. So have a roadmap.